day. Another video, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Teen Wolf. This is episode 11 of season 2. Hopefully guys have enjoyed the crazy second season that we have been experiencing. You know, it's been absolutely madness. We've had Gerard introduce, you know, Kate's dad. He's come to try and avenge her death pretty much and take out all the supernaturals. But in doing so, he has come face to face with the Kenema, which is Jackson. You know, he has experienced a bite from Derek. He is in the transition phase, but it has currently gone wrong. And his body's kind of like fighting it. And he's currently in a different form of supernatural. That is the Kenema. And he is going around. He is killing everybody, mate. Literally, last episode was an absolute massacre. We found out that it was Matt that was controlling him. And he went all out, didn't he? He went to the police station. He was killing all of the cops, mate. The guy was committed, going all in, and we finally found out the reason why he is attacking all of these people. We've been trying to put two and two together the whole time, trying to figure out what the connection is, and pretty much we found out that when he was in school, yeah, he got pushed into the swimming pool and he couldn't swim and he was drowning and he was just flapping around and he was sinking lower and lower into the pool, and everybody on the swim team was just stood there, sat around laughing. Not one person tried to help him at all. And as he could see his life flashing away before him, well, luckily for him, so to speak, Isaac's dad did pull him out the pool, but he said, it's your fault that you can't swim, you know, you're going to tell nobody. And he said when he went to school the next day, everybody just looked at him like he was normal. Nobody paid attention. Nobody cared that he'd nearly died, and literally nobody bat an eyelid. Ever since then, you know, he's always resented it. Then fast forward, you know, it was Kate's funeral. He was there, he was taking pictures. He took a picture of Isaac's dad. It all come back to him, you know, all his feelings, all his anger, all his resentment. So he was obviously not happy with them. And then he said, mate, a random thing happened. Jackson asked could he borrow his camera. He give it to him. Then obviously he thought that Jackson was going to make a sex tape, and Jackson was like, no mate, I'm going to document history. So he went back and got in his car and sat down. He fell asleep, but then he looked at his camera connected via Bluetooth and watched the video. He seen Jackson turn into the Kenema. He seen the transition. He come outside. He kind of like, you know, started crawling around his car. He put his hand to the window, and so did he, and that is where they got their connection. Later on, he started to realise that every time he snapped a picture of somebody, they was getting taken out, and that is what he was doing for Jackson, to take out all of these people. So he was getting his revenge on the people that sat around and watched him possibly die until obviously he was saved. So it's really, really interesting, you know. I kind of get where he's coming from, but it's absolutely savage as well. He took out a lot of innocent while he was doing that. And like I said, he was in the police station taking out all the coppers. He shot... He shot Scott, which is really interesting, after inviting Scott's mum there, so she's seen him get hit by the bullet. Then he locked her in a cell. Later on in the episode, we had the Kenema having a scrap with Derek right in front of Scott's mum, so she did see it. She knows something weird's going on. Scott come in as well. He helped save the day. She's seen his face. She knows that Scott is no longer a normal human. He's transitioned over. She's panicking. Scott's ran off. He's tried to help, you know. As we got to the back end of the episode, Matt was confronted by Gerard outside. He grabbed him, killed him pretty much, you know. He made him drowned, which is crazy actually. He put his head in the river and obviously made him drowned. As he finished doing that, the Kenema was there, Jackson hiding underneath the bridge. Who else was watching? Peter Hale. He was on the bridge. Jackson walked over, the Kenema put his hand up, and they kind of like embraced, you know, Gerald and Jackson. So it's madness, mate. I want to see what he does now and how he goes forward with using him, because he's always hated these supernaturals. He's been trying to kill every single one of them this season, and now he's kind of got a friend, whilst Peter's seen it. I don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to go and run tell Derek? Are they going to team up? I don't know, because they haven't got the best of relationships as well. So it's absolutely crazy. It's been such an epic ride so far. I've really enjoyed season 2. It really has been fantastic. If you guys can't wait, obviously, to see season 3, and also you can't wait to vote for your most liked and disliked characters, please hit the description below, get voting, you know, vote for it, and we will reveal your results as well as mine in the final episode. It's going to be really good to see everybody's opinion. But without further ado, this is episode 11 of season 2. Hopefully guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump in to today's episode.
You know when you're drowning, you don't actually inhale until right before you black out. The instinct to not let any water in is so strong that you won't open your mouth until you feel like your head's exploding.
Are you saying you hope Matt felt some peace in his last moments?
Because a bunch of dumbasses dragged him into a pool when he couldn't swim doesn't really give him the right to go off killing them one by one. So yeah, maybe drowning when he was 9 years old was what set him off the rails, but the dude was definitely riding the crazy train.
Positive thing came out of this, though, right?
Yeah, but I still feel like there's something wrong between us. Same thing with Scott. I mean, he's got his own problems to deal with, though.
Mom, we're gonna have to talk about this eventually. Okay, I'm going. Love you.
Her mom dying hit her pretty hard.
Locations.
Jackson hasn't really been himself lately.
Anxiety about that championship game tomorrow night?
No, I never actually play. But hey, since one of my teammates is dead and another one's missing, who knows, right? Constant, overwhelming, crushing fear that something terrible is about to happen.
It's called hypervigilance.
It's like it's a panic attack. You know, like I can't even breathe.
If you're drowning, but if you choose to not open your mouth, to not let the water in, you have more time, right?
Not much time.
But more time to fight your way to the surface. Isn't a little agony worth it?
I mean, what if it just gets worse?
And think about something Winston Churchill once said. If you're going through hell, keep going.
I tell you what, mate, that was a good start. I like how we use Styles then for, like, I don't know, the little introduction. It's good to see that his dad's been recruited back to the police, but he did say that they're having a bit of tension and conflict between them. He's not really speaking to Scott. Scott's not speaking to his mum, not speaking to Allison. Allison seems to be getting into, well, deeper into the family business, so to speak. And they seem to be crossing off on the map, different locations, and now they've focused on Beacon Hills. I don't know if it was the high school there. I didn't really clock what it was left that was in the centre. Was it a rail yard or something? Might be the rail yard. That might be where Derek and, and crew are still hiding, because she said that they're the 3 runaways. So it's obviously Isaac, Erica, and I never really caught that, the other lad's name. But all 3 of them are obviously missing, and saying that he might have a chance of playing in the lacrosse game because he's obviously not around. So again, it's mad. Jackson's still covered in blood. I wonder if he can remember anything that he actually does, or if he always just wakes up absolutely mind blank, because he has got closer to Gerard the last episode. And I really want to see what happens with Peter. Now we've seen this information, what's he going to do with it?
As you can see, Scott, there's been some interesting developments lately.
What the hell?
Come on, Scott, let's be realistic about who's got the upper hand here. You haven't been answering your phone.
Let her go. We can talk about whatever you want.
Why do you think I'm able to control him? Well, you know the myth, Scott. The Kanama is a weapon of vengeance. Didn't just come here to bury my daughter. I came to avenge her.
Oh, I don't know what's happening.
In it.
I don't know what that thing was or even what you are.
Do what he wants.
Derek told us to be back before sunup.
But there are no wolves in California.
No, but there are werewolves.
You decided.
We figured it was the best time.
It's not like we want to. So just turned 16 a month ago. I wouldn't mind getting my license.
You didn't say it would be like this.
Yeah, but I told you how to survive. I'm looking for another pack.
Oh.
I think we already did.
Oh, they joined Peter Hale's pack. Imagine. Oh, it's Isaac.
You know what the Beau Geste effect is? If they modulate their howls with a rapid shift in tone, 2 wolves can sound like 20.
Yo,
Look,
that's
that doesn't
sick.
matter, okay? There's another pack out there. There's gotta be.
No, you're running. And once you start, you don't stop.
I agree with him on that one, because, right, no matter what's happened to him, he has been in constant battle, constant defence. He's fought Kate last season, come at him with guns, she caught him, she tied him up. Yeah, okay, Scott come and all that stuff. But this guy's been in the war, so to speak. He's always been running, but stay. You know what I mean? He's been in one location, so obviously he's always been running away from the hunters, but he's never actually ran our way. He's always stood his ground and been in the same location. He's never disappeared, so he knows it. You know what I mean? He doesn't run, he stays. They're running, they're gonna get killed. I think they might run over to Peter, but it's really clever.
I'd expected a slightly warmer welcome. Point taken.
It's interesting, mate.
Why does it smell like that? Scott said almost the same thing to me a few months ago. Somehow tell the difference between which animals were getting better and which were not. I know you're well aware of what your new abilities can do for you. Improve strength, speed, and healing. You ever wonder what it could do for others?
Oh, check this. Suck
Took
his
some of
pain.
his pain away.
That was so good. Go on, lad. Keep fighting. Go on, son.
What do you want?
Well, I want to help. The only relative that I have left. You know, there's still a lot that I can teach you.
Yo, before that happens, I did say, do you remember when Peter Hale was first introduced when he was sat in the chair? I was saying, mate, I hope this guy becomes a series regular. It doesn't have to be a Scott or a Derek, but he could be in a rotation. So the 12 episode season could be in 6 or 7 of them. It'd be really nice to see like a good recurring character. Every show needs them that are interesting. I still think that right now, to this day, we're going to be passing into season 3 soon. I don't want Peter to die. Like, I think that he actually is intimidating. Scott's an alpha. He's not intimidating. I mean, not Scott, sorry. Derek, he is an alpha now because obviously he took it off Peter Hill. But to me, Derek is not as intimidating as Peter was when he was. He looks like the bee's knees, the boss, the man in charge. Now, even though Derek is technically the man in charge, the stronger one now, I still think that he's a massive asset. He could be really good. Now, obviously, I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't trust him. Right now, he is another person to be wary of, another enemy. You can't trust everything that he's done. Last season just shown that. But I do think that he could have potential. Like, every character can come in and be an arsehole, and then they can get progression, and they can get a storyline, and they can change, and they become part of the team. And that is what I kind of would like him to do. I would like him to transition over from being the person that we all like kind of dislike and thinks are bad there to kind of like, I know about the Kenema, I know about Gerard. Do you want it? Yeah, of course we do. Helped, decent. Next one, help. All right, really good. Integrate in slowly. And he changes our opinions. That's what I like to see. Now, Isaac, I thought he was a bit of an arse when he's first come in, but actually I don't think he's that bad. Ever since that he was in the train when he controlled his transition, that time when he said that he's thinking about his dad, he's been all right. And so far, this episode here has really interested me the way he started.
I'm asking for your advice.
From me? Why?
Because you always seem to want to do the right thing.
I have too many people here who need me.
Well, I guess that makes me lucky, because I don't have anyone.
Are you gonna go with them?
Good luck with the game, though.
Oh, thanks, but I'm not going either.
You weren't at practice last week, were you?
No, I skipped it. Why?
Jackson was there.
What do you mean, there? Like he was
As if nothing had happened.
Are you okay? You didn't answer my texts all week.
Stay in the Golden Eye, Danny. Do not come out. And if you see me coming towards you, run the other way.
In less than an hour, aircraft from here will be joining others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind.
It's a speech from Independence Day.
Mm-hmm. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
I know you'll all be brilliant tonight, even with only one co-captain leading. I'm your principal, but I'm also a fan, so don't think I'll be content to watch you merely beat this team.
Are you benching me? But I have to play.
McCall, you're failing 3 classes.
Hey, go ahead, come on, do it. Hit me. I can see that it's cathartic for you. You're letting go of all the anger, self-loathing, and hatred that comes with total and complete failure.
You can't help me.
He can though, because he knows.
Yeah, he's already here. It's gonna be bad, isn't it? I mean, like people screaming, running for their lives, blood, killing, maiming, kind of bad.
Looks like it.
Well, I want to help, you know.
Maybe transition
I can't
over.
do the things that you can do.
What the hell are you talking about? Game hasn't even started. Now put on your helmet. What happened to Greenberg? He sucks. You suck. Slightly less. Get the hell out there!
Go on, son, mate. Time to shine.
Oh no, why is my son running on the field?
My son is on the field!
You hear me? You can. Good.
Yo, man, what's Gerard want? Like, literally, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, why is he so, like, committed to this game? Like, why is he going to get interested? Who's playing on the other team? Is it somebody that he wants to take out? Is it another supernatural? I don't know. Obviously, we're going to find out, but it is intriguing. He's benched Scott. If he actually cared about the school, he'd want them to win, wouldn't he? He'd want Jackson and Scott on the team because they're both strong, fast, and they've got the ability to obviously dominate the opposition if that is what you care about, winning. But he's got his own agenda in mind. We've not seen Allison once, I don't think. What, we 20, 30 minutes in? It's crazy. Like, I'm really interested to see how we play out.
Play it again.
I'll give you until the last 30 seconds. If you haven't given me Derek, then Jackson is gonna kill someone. Should it be your mother or the sheriff? Or how about the pretty little redhead who managed to survive the bite of an alpha? I'll have Jackson rip someone's head off right in the middle of the field and drench everyone you love and care about in blood.
Why would I want help from a total psycho?
First of all, I'm not a total psycho. Sometimes when you need help, turn to people you'd never expect.
Sit down, McCall.
But Coach, we're dying out there.
Oh, I'm aware of that. Now sit.
You came to help. Came to win.
Come on!
Allison does look sick, doesn't she? She does pack my head though now she's in this role. Is it me, right? I might be the only one. I don't get it. She's literally a murderer. Like, I don't care if they're a wolf. I actually physically don't care if they're a wolf. She's a murderer. That girl on the floor is a girl from her school who's a wolf. But she's in a human form and she's blatantly cold-blooded murdering her. Like, yeah, she might be getting revenge. But last week, yeah, she wasn't a murderer. Now, she's fine. She's going to go around, kill everyone. You know, physically, she's there on the floor. She's like, what, boom, kill her, dead. Again, it's interesting to see Allison and how her personality is changing. She wants to avenge her mum. Again, I am not going to blame anybody who wants to avenge somebody that's attacked their family. I get it. This is where I get it. It doesn't mean that it's not annoying to me, but I get it. That is why when Peter was doing it last season, didn't really blame him because he was trying to get revenge on the people that killed his family. Now, she wants to get revenge on the people that killed her mum. Totally get it. I really do. It doesn't mean that I have to physically enjoy the characters in the progression that they're doing it, but I totally get it. So I won't hate on her for doing it. It's just interesting to see how she's totally changed.
You got a plan yet?
Pretty much just keep Jackson from killing anyone.
Well, that might be easier if you're actually in the game.
Do that. He's got a bench full of guys he could use before he ever puts me on the field. Can you do it without putting anyone in the hospital?
I can try.
Lady! You're in.
I think Jackson nicked me because I can feel it spreading.
Either you're in or we forfeit.
Something's happening, isn't it? Something more than a lacrosse game?
You should go.
Stop! Please, Allison, stop!
There's Allison with one murder. Come on, Styles.
You give me Derek, and I'll let you have Allison.
I caught them.
Caught came very close to kill. That's not the way we do this.
Maybe it's not the way you do
Hey,
it.
go on, Chris.
I think my way worked out pretty well.
Allison,
Hey, Grandpa, it's me. We got her to run away.
it's just the first time I've heard you call him that.
No. Is anyone a big fan of this Allison? I'm not. Intrigued, though. I want her to stay in this character. Not hating it, just don't like it. But again, I do like it. I like people who change. Like I say, I always like it when somebody goes from a person that we like to we hate, or we hate and we like them. Shows character change in progression. And I'm all for her going into next season, me absolutely stressing out, she's doing my head in. Something good happens and then we get back on the side and she pulls it together. But right now, you know, I'm not a big fan of Allison. I'm not a big fan of the Argents at all, especially this guy. But I said it in the last season when Chris stopped Kate from killing Scott. Mate, we have a code. We do not know that Scott has killed any innocent human or spilled blood, so we're not going to kill him. That's what he said last season. And I was like, oh, do you know what? That's decent. And then we went into this season, he was still the same Chris, so he kind of annoyed me a bit because the Argents do that. But I respected him a little bit more. Again, here, Allison was going to go straight in, kill them. No, he's come, stopped it again, because they have no hardcore evidence, no facts, no proof that those two have killed and spilled innocent blood. All I've seen is physically, no joke, the Argents have killed more people than the Wolves. Not more than the Alpha, he deserved to die, and he did die. But from the ones that they're hunting down right now, Isaac, you know, we got Erica, and the guy that's obviously just been, well, tried to help Erica. All three of them have not really killed anybody or hurt anybody. Neither's Derek from what I can see. So, I don't know, I might have missed it, but to me it looks like the Argents, they're the one causing more damage just because they hate the wolves than the wolves are causing damage for being wolves.
It was a good effort, Isaac. This would be so much more poetic if it were halftime.
Gerard is winning. He's taking his time. He's toying with Scott. He's going after your wolves because I'm going to tell you how to stop Jackson.
Know how to kill him?
Where is it? Where's the ball?
Hey, who's got the ball? Where'd it go? Stelinski! Shoot it, you idiot!
Go on, lad, he scored. Yes!
Our name is a symbol of who we are. The Kanama has no identity.
Seeks a master.
And who else grows up with no back?
An orphan.
You need to bring him back.
How?
Through his heart.
Jackson doesn't really have too much of a heart to begin with.
Not true. One person who can reach him.
Lydia.
Even somebody as burned and dead on the inside as me knows better than to underestimate the simple yet undeniable power of human love.
Look at them two. Oh, no, it's that. Oh, it's Jackson.
Move.
Move!
Oh.
Oh my god, there's blood.
Whoa, what's that?
There's blood.
Look, he did it to himself?
Where's Styles? Where's my son?
Where's Styles? Where the hell is my son?
Whoa, wait, it's bad. What a good... I'm guessing it's ended, yeah? Mate, what a good ending. Like, what has happened to Styles? I thought that was him down on the ground just then, but it's Jackson. Now, if Jackson's took himself out, mate, that's so good from Jackson, mate. Like, the guy is kind of a little bit in control, but not in control. He wants to stop himself from hurting people. I kind of don't think that Jackson going down on the floor is part of Gerard's plan, because if Jackson dies, just say, for example, he dies, he's lost his weapon, he's lost his leverage, hasn't he? You know, like having a Kenema on his side is a massive plus for him. And I'm assuming that Jackson being down here is not really what he wanted to happen, but Styles has been taken. Now, it'd be so good to see Styles transition or something, because Scott is a decent wolf, to be fair. You know, I don't really see Scott do anything bad as being a wolf, so I always go back to the Caroline situation in the Vampire Diaries. I know she killed a few people here and there. She did, you know. Not everybody's a saint. And I'm expecting Scott possibly to do it. If Scott goes through this whole show without killing anyone, then he is a prime example of a perfect wolf. But right now, he's a good one. Compared to what we've seen Peter do in the last season, you know, Scott has been a good example of it. He's tried not to hurt people, he's tried to help people, and he's not really used it to be an advantage to be better than everyone. The only thing is, yeah, it gives him a little advantage on the lacrosse game and stuff like that, but he doesn't use it to excel more than the humans. And I think Scott is a decent example on how a wolf can get integrated into society and, you know, live a low-key life. So it's decent. Now, if Styles got it as well, you know, it'd be good to see how he would be with it. Now, we found out that obviously Lydia this season is immune. It was interesting that we ended on a cliffhanger last season, didn't we? Whether Jackson was going to turn and Lydia, what was going to happen. We've had it confirmed that Lydia is not. She's immune. And Jackson has turned into the Kenema. It didn't probably work. But I still think that, based on old information, that he could possibly can still transition into a wolf once everything gets sorted out and his issues and all his deep down, you know, like insecurities and that get figured out and away, and he gets a master and stuff like that. Once all this is ironed out and it's all done and dusted, maybe he can transition back into a wolf. But they've just said that the way to him is his heart and the human love, and the only person that he currently has had that connection with in his life so far is Lydia. You know, like he's been brought up as an orphan and X, Y, and Z, and he's never really had somebody apart from her, and she is the key. And he said that called him by the real name or something. So I'm not too sure what he said, but again, I think Peter Hale is going to be an asset. He could be used as one real good. Imagine the pack, yeah, being Peter, Derek, and Scott. And Jackson, if he transitioned over into a wolf, and Styles, maybe if he does, that is a nice solid pack. I like it. So again, oh, it's a great episode, very intense. Can't wait for the finale. It's so good. And like I said, if you guys have not voted yet for your most liked and disliked characters of the season, I think this episode is a good example of, you know, solidifying your votes. So get voting, and I can't wait to see it in the finale. And that is going to wrap up episode 11 of Teen Wolf. I'm so excited for the finale. It's going to be sick. What has happened to Styles? I cannot wait to find out. I'm definitely going to jump straight into it, and you know, I can't wait to see how we end to get into season 3. But Jackson looks like he's took himself out, which is interesting. I don't know if that is part of Gerard's plan. It looks like Erica, well, I don't think she's died. I don't think them two had died in the woods. I think he was possibly going to die. That he got hit a lot of arrows by Allison. But a couple of them did look like it was in his heart as well, and he did go down. But I don't think they're dead. From the conversation that she had with Chris was saying that, you know, like, we don't do that. We have a code. She was saying, well, you know, they was my catches, it was my hunts. I could kill them or something like that. And she rang her granddad and she called him, hey grandpa, and he's like, I've never heard you call him that before. And you could tell her personality's changed. She's definitely turning into Kate. She's full on trying to avenge her parents. I get that side of it, you know. Her mum was killed by a wolf, so she's going after them. I totally understand it. Again, I'm not going to bash on her for that. It makes sense to me that she's doing that. All I can say is I'm not a big fan of the character that she is moving into. But I am a big fan of seeing where her character goes. Because last season, you know, Jackson was a bit of an ass. This season, he's turned into the Kenema. Yeah, obviously, he's been bit and Allison's not. But we've seen a totally different Jackson this season to last, which I think's been really interesting. It's been really exciting to see. So we've had kind of 2 seasons, or one and majority of season 2 of a certain Allison, and now we've had this type of Allison finishing off the end of the season. And if we go into the next one, she might be a total different character again, and then I'll have a total different view on her. But currently, as this dark person, I'm not a big fan, only because I'm not a massive fan of the Argents as well. I've got to be totally honest. Wasn't a big fan of her mum. Not a big fan of Chris or Gerard. That's just me. Maybe you guys are. I'm interested to see when we do reveal the votes in the finale. But yeah, to me, the Argents, I'm not a massive fan. They go on consistently like the wolves are the enemy. But from what I can tell is that they have murdered, they have killed more innocents, more normal, more people, more wolves than the wolves have actually killed people themselves. So again, that's an interesting one. This season, Gerard has took a lot of people out. He killed Matt. Yeah, he killed the guy that they caught in the trap. He chopped him in half. He was going to go and kill Isaac. She was going to kill both of them. And yeah, Derek... Well, you could say Derek killed Allison's mum, but did he? He didn't. He bit her. She turned into a wolf. She was still alive, walking, breathing. She could have been a Scot. She could have just turned on a full moon. They could have got a trap. They could have tied her up. Day-to-day life, she would have been absolutely normal. They decided to take herself out, so I'm not going to blame Derek for killing her, because what actually happened is she kidnapped Scott to try and kill Scott. Derek come in to try and save him, and then the altercation resulted into an injury. So they was an instigator of their own self-inflicted pain, so to speak. You know, if I went and get somebody at gunpoint, tie them up in my house, and then they retaliate, knock the gun out of my hand and shoot me, well, let's be honest, I was the one that instigated it. I was the one that kidnapped him. She kidnapped Scott. Someone's come in, I got hurt. It's not... you can't really blame it. So again, I understand that she wants to avenge her mum, but... like I said, I think that the Argents, from what I've seen, have killed way more people and done way more damage than the Wolves have done. So I can't wait to see where the factions join now, whether Chris is going to be happy that she's joining the family business, what's going to happen with Gerard in the last episode. Is this story going to continue into season 3, because we've had 2 seasons of the Argents now? What's happened to Styles? Who's took him? Did Jackson take himself out on purpose to save everybody else? I thought it might have been Danny on the floor, because he said, if you see me running at you, run the opposite way. Styles did score 3, and he won. Really happy with that. Looked like Lydia was getting interested in him. Well, she was supporting him, but then straight away she's been dragged back around to Jackson, because obviously she does still care about him. Whether or not she's getting feelings for Styles, she does care about Jackson. Peter's saying she's the key to bringing him back into the reality as well. So there's loads of stuff going on. Really, really good. I've actually thoroughly enjoyed season 2. So it's been a great episode. Thanks so much for checking out today's one. If you did enjoy it, please smash the like. Really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.